Is the new BMW M340i a get it or skip it vehicle? We're showcasing the 2025 BMW M340i in Brooklyn Gray Metallic over Takara Red Perforated Syntech. This year we get upgrades to the 48-volt mild hybrid technology. So we're getting more performance underneath the hood. We get a retuned suspension, updated technology, reworked dashboard, and new wheel design. I'm Anthony from Hawkeye Rides. I'm gonna throw in some pros and cons, compare this against the competition to see if it is a get it or skip it vehicle. The M340i is kind of the sweet spot because you're unlocking performance not quite to the level of a M, but you're gonna have M suspension. You're gonna have M rear differential. You can option the X-Drive, which is an all-wheel drive system, and it's an intelligent system, so it will send torque to the wheels that's needed to this near 50-50 weight distribution vehicle. In the front, full LED headlights and daytime runnings because we have the Shadowline package. We also have the M Sport Package Pro, which gives us the M Shadowline lights as well as the extended Shadowline trim. I would definitely tick the box to these two because it doesn't really increase the MSRP that much. The kidney grille gets the gloss black, it's an active grille shutter, and the design is different from the 330i as well as the M. So I like how they changed the styling elements because the lower bumper is identical to the 330i. But what's housed underneath the hood is not a B48, it's a B58. 131 horsepower more than a 330i, plus 74 pound-feet of torque more. This is the 3.0 liter BMW M twin power turbocharged inline 6-cylinder, producing a combined 386 horsepower and 369 pound-feet of torque with a 48-volt mild hybrid technology that has increased our performance. 0 to 60 numbers, 4.4 seconds. Tick the box to the X-Drive, 4.1 seconds. Top speed at 130 to 155 miles per hour. I've been 155 miles per hour, and you know what? It is freaking scary. So imagine doing that with this, but the difference is we got 19-inch wheels. My vehicle had 21-inch wheels. This is a staggered wheel setup as well. We have the M Pro package that adds the M brake calipers that's in red. That gives us 4 pistons in the front, a single floating caliper in the rear, and you're gonna need that to stop if you're going that fast. 130 miles or whatever speed you're going. This is over 3,800 pound curb weight. So now you have a retuned suspension. You got the upgraded brakes. They've tweaked the 48-volt mild hybrid technology. These are all reasons why I would get it. And that's paired to an 8-speed Steptronic automatic transmission, achieving 27 mpgs for the city, 33 mpgs for the highway. Going against competition, Mercedes, Audi, this is gonna be faster. If you tick the box to the X-Drive, it will beat the Audi. If not, the Audi will be just a touch faster. It's faster than Genesis, even though Genesis has more performance numbers for horsepower and torque. So what you're getting, a sweet spot over the 3 Series. You're not going full M because you don't need that power, but you want the power for the everyday drive and you want the excitement when you're taking the bends. This will unlock that, but it's gonna be at a price because you're gonna be spending about 10 to 15 grand more than a 330i, which you could actually do some aftermarket work to that, add the M Sport package, and you'll have the same suspension layout as this. You're not gonna get the M Spec side view mirrors, but you're gonna have a similarity to the drive, especially if you do aftermarket work. The rear is gonna get the trunk lid spoiler with the gloss black, as well as all the window trims, L-shaped LED taillights. The lower keeps the boxy look with the dual exhaust that's exposed, gloss black tips, and a diffuser with reverse sensors and a reverse camera, but you will not receive a standard 360-degree reverse camera nor a power trunk. You have to pay extra. We're already around 65 grand. It can catch up to $70-ish thousand quick going into the M340i, which puts you into an M3. So then it begs the question, should you just go to that variant? I know this is the sweet spot because you are unlocking a lot, but they've increased the price. And BMW, I don't think, reworked their price scheme because when you're at these prices, you could go up to the next trim level. I mean, let me know your thoughts on that in the comments. As for competition, Audi, they're getting the refresh next year. They were saying for 2025, unfortunately, we'll probably get it towards the end of the year or first thing next year, which is going to have more performance. So I'm actually excited to see what they're going to unlock. And as for Mercedes, it has more horsepower, but basically the same 0 to 60. This is gonna be better on the track with the 50-50 weight distribution. So I would probably go into the inline 6, but at this price, I would probably consider the M3, but let us know which way you would go. Power trunk lid going into 16.9 cubic feet of storage. You get a net here that can hold more goodies because that is a deeper storage pocket with bag holders. Split fold the rear bench by pulling these tabs. It's going to fold out at a 60-40 split, or you could do a 40-20-40 split, and that will increase the cargo capacity to the M340i, but we have the B58. We need to go inside, start it up, so you can hear that exhaust note. The key fob to the M340i. Check out the intro. Takara Red perforated Syntec seats. They're heated front seats, 12-way power seat adjustment, manual cushion extensions, memory for the driver. And you're gonna notice the interior has been updated. We have the upgraded Harman Kardon because we've added the premium package, which gives us a heads-up display and a power trunk. It's a driver-focused setup. My knees are gonna sit up in the air, even with the manual cushion extensions out. Rework steering wheel. We get the 12 o'clock, that's red. You're not gonna receive that in the 330i. Contrast stitch. It's a octagonal, horizontal with the lines, flat bottom, in-spec steering wheel. But a con, right off the bat, this should be carbon fiber. Multi-function, paddle shifts, let's fire it up. BMW's curve panel display, 2-screen configuration with a 14.9 touch screen on this side. Wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Sirius XM, AM, FM, streaming, Bluetooth, audio, Wi-Fi hotspot with 5G capabilities, Spotify with the new iDrive 8.5. Put it into reverse, you don't receive a 360-degree reverse camera, and we're over 60 grand. Unfortunately, you just get a reverse camera, front and rear parking sensors. That's definitely going to be a con to me because I think at this price we should get a 360-degree reverse camera. Dual climate control settings, and this area here has been reworked. You can see how it basically copies the 4 Series. I like it. I just wish the 4 Series had its own unique style. We still have some physical buttons for the infotainment screen to turn on and off the sound system and to change the track. Open this up and you get your wireless charging pad, USB-C port, 12 volt, BMW's digital key, and you'll have that aluminum mesh inlays that come into play with the rocker to put it into gear. Kind of wish it had a gear lever. This is going to be sporty. Opens up into a medium-sized storage pocket with another USB port. Headroom. They do a good job carving it out. Auto-dimming rear view mirror, LED interior lights with a moonroof. Leg space, you're going to have plenty of it. And on the gauge cluster, it's a 12.3 digital reader that you can change all the content in the center. You can also add AR, which will show the front camera if you had a 360-degree reverse camera right here in the center. You can change the layouts. And you can also do the same thing for the heads-up display, so you'll have a few different changes here. Standard view, sport view, reduce view, and when you change the driving mode, which is right here, it will also change that look for the gauge cluster. And if you put it on Eco Pro, it will basically coach you how to drive, and you can also configure it. So I do like that they give you all of these capabilities. Door panel and dashboard configured together nicely. I just wish this red would carry on into the dash on the lower trim. I mean, let me know your thoughts on that. Satin aluminum is going to be on the door handle and right in between the door with your ambient lighting, one touch up and down for the windows with a medium-sized storage pocket and a beverage holder carved out. For the back seat, this is the opening that you have to fit 2 more with the cup holders and armrest. Close that up. Not a big fan of that design. No storage behind any of the front seats. Third climate control, 2 USB-C ports, and air vents. The door is going to have the same segment in the front, so you get the ambient lighting. The Harman Kardon comes into play. It's going to be more sporty with a large beverage holder and another little storage pocket here. Sitting behind me, knee and leg space, not an issue. Headroom, it's good. Sliding into the center, it's going to be tight because I've purposely pushed this seat back to show you that don't put somebody that's 6'3" in the center. You're going to share feet, butt, legs, shoulder space, and knee space is going to be impossible. Plus, I'm blocking the air vents, the charging ports, everything. Headroom isn't bad, just Let me sit on the side or in the front. 386 horsepower, 369 pound-feet of torque, a 0 to 60, 4.4 seconds. Let's see what we get. It's gripping. You get the cracks and pops. Stays planted. You know, we're gonna stop it here to really see what we can get. Brakes are great. Look at the exit. It livens up. The suspension holds itself well. They did a good job tuning it. And that's why you go M340i, because you want something that has some performance. You don't want to go full-blown in, but you want to have fun, especially taking some bins on the road. Maybe you want to just go for a drive on the weekend. You can capture all of that, and it's a smoother ride than last year. It's going to take me to some pros and cons to see if it's still a get it or skip it vehicle. The pros, the suspension's a lot better. The seat comfort is a con because they didn't really do any tweaks to that. I kind of wish that they made it a little bit more cushion, kind of like Mercedes and Audi. They do make it a lot more thin than the competition. Some more pros is how seamless everything is, but then the con to that is everything's more or less on the touch screen. And unfortunately, you have to go through different pages in order to change things like the climate control, put it back in sport mode. I slowed down there purposely to see if I could hear the pops come in. Unfortunately, you can't. So staggered wheel setup, when you go over imperfections, it's going to alter a little bit of that soundtrack, but ultimately it still has a soundtrack. That's another reason why I would go this route, because you're getting a package that's already wrapped up. You just basically start it and drive. You don't really have to add anything to this B58. They've done enough with it. On some more cons, they have stripped out more leather. They did this a couple years back on the steering wheel for the center. It's all plastic. I like the design to it, but then they add plastic that's basically surrounding everything. Because I'm in an M340i, give us some carbon fiber so that way it just looks more sporty. And unfortunately, because it's a BMW, you're gonna constantly have Teslas and all types of vehicles just wanting to race you. I have a Mercedes behind me that's literally on my bumper, and they don't understand what's underneath the hood of this. So it's a bit of a sleeper because of the way BMW has done the 3 Series. They've made it look very similar to this. And I mean, look, they cut you off just to show you what? Wow, you're in front of me? Great job. We got absolutely nowhere. So that movement was absolutely pointless. Yeah, he got in front of maybe 2 cars, but he could have got behind me because you see the Mercedes is in the other lane. Going against competition, BMW sets itself apart. They do a good job. Yeah, I told you, he just wants to race me. I don't have to race him. I know what's underneath the hood of this. I don't need to go against a base model Tesla. I mean, let me know what you would do in the comments, because that's personally not something that I would waste my time or gas on. If I'm going to race somebody, I'm going to put it against an AMG. I'm going to put this against an S or an RS Audi. That's where the true performance starts coming into play. That's why this is a sweet spot. As for Mercedes, I'm just a little disappointed that they do a turbocharged 4 and they do a lot of work with that turbocharge, which ultimately, it gets the same 0 to 60 as this, so what the hell was the point? As for Audi, They're getting a full refresh, so I'm kind of excited to see what the outcome will be when it comes to North America. Genesis does a great job of performance. That's another sweet spot vehicle. And because BMW has increased the price to a mid $60,000 and $70,000 pricing for this, it does start making it not as sweet as it used to be. And because of that increase, it gives me a reason why I would skip it, because at this price, I would like the sound deadening to be a lot more. I would like the cushions to be a lot more soft. Maneuverability, not an issue. Performance is always there whenever you mash on the gas pedal or if you mash on the brake. So the car doesn't feel heavy at all. And it's just a touch over 3,800 pound curb weight. Adding the X-Drive just touches over 4,000 pounds. It's not a huge difference in curb weight, but I would definitely tick the box to that. Doesn't feel wide in the road either. So I mean, everyday driving vehicle, that's what you're getting here. Plus performance, not unlocked to an M, but near that. And turn radius at more or less a stop point is about a lane and apart. Let's rock and roll. Those cracks and pops sounding like an AK-47, it's awesome. I can shift it into comfort right on the fly, and it's going to quiet it up. Smooth suspension. The changes is definitely a reason why I would get it, but let me know which way you would go in the comments. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Check out the next video, the memberships, live streams, TikTok and Instagram. Leave a comment and a like, and I'd like to thank BMW of Wesley Chapel for giving us this 2025 BMW M340i for a car review.